Hello everyone, it's my greatest pleasure to be here today for this research presentation. In this session, I'm going to present a comprehensive review of a research article entitled "A Need Analysis for E-Learning Development: Issues in the Implementation of Technology Enhanced Language Learning." This insightful paper was written by Wahid Nasruddin and Nizar Ibnus. Before we proceed to the core discussion, let me introduce myself. My name is Alya Fatkhunnajah with a student ID number 24020330031. And I'm a student taking the Advanced Oral Communication Skill course. On a special occasion, I would also like to express my deepest gratitude to our lecturer for giving me this wonderful opportunity and valuable guidance to present this research assignment. Now let us begin. The title of my presentation strongly highlights a pivotal issue in modern education. I'd like to talk today about the critical factors driving this research. Following the COVID-19 pandemic, education systems worldwide underwent a massive shift towards online environments, making technology-enhanced language learning, or TELL, an essential approach in language teaching. However, while e-learning offers unparalleled flexibility, its practical implementation is frequently met with complex challenges that can affect both teaching efficiency and student outcomes. Therefore, the primary objective of this study is to identify the real-world challenges and needs in the implementation of TLL, particularly within an English language teacher education context, and offer constructive recommendation for future e-learning development. I'd like to start by suggesting that prior literature has extensively explored various digital platforms. For instance, previous studies indicated that platforms such as Edmodo significantly support writing activities. Kuiper facilitates EFL learning processes, and Google Apps for Education enhances collaborative tasks among students. Nevertheless, a notable research gap persists. Let me now turn to the limitation of those previous studies. Most researchers focus predominantly on evaluating the technical platforms themselves, rather than investigating the actual lived challenges and needs experienced by the primary users. Consequently, the present study addresses this gap by exploring the concrete needs and challenges of e-learning from the dual perspectives of both students and lecturers. The first point of my talk is the methodology employed by the researchers. This study adopted a qualitative approach involving a substantial sample size of 159 students and 13 lecturers to gather data. The researchers utilized open-ended questionnaires and focus group discussions. As demonstrated by the diagram on screen, the data analysis followed a rigorous process, beginning with data gathering from questionnaires and FGDS, progressing through data coding, identifying key themes, interpreting the data, and ultimately drawing valid conclusions. This framework was systematically designed to answer three overarching research questions regarding student challenges, student needs, and lecturer stakeholder requirements. Let me now turn to the core findings, starting with the challenges encountered by the students based on Figure 2 and Figure 3. The empirical data shows that there are two major types of challenges: technical and non-technical. The important thing about the technical challenges is that they directly hinder learning accessibility. These include unstable internet connections, limited data quotas, inadequate devices, and unfamiliarity with the software. Conversely, the non-technical challenges involve internal issues such as difficulty comprehending materials, decreased concentration during prolonged screen time, reduced motivation, and an apparent lack of interaction with peers and lecturers. In analysis, our interpretation suggests that successful e-learning requires more than just providing technology. Technical barriers prevent initial access, while non-technical barriers significantly impact students' academic engagement and comprehension. My second point focuses closely on the students' actual academic and technical needs. While students admittedly require technical infrastructure support and adequate training, they also call for a pedagogical shift. They explicitly express a need for interactive activities that foster critical thinking, language literacy, and autonomous self-assessment. Furthermore, a substantial number of participants recommended project-based tasks and strongly preferred a blended learning approach, combining structured online session with face-to-face interaction. The thing to remember here is that learners do not merely seek technological convenience. Rather, they demand meaningful learning experiences. Their preference for blended learning emphasizes that while they value digital flexibility, they still highly regard the human connection and active engagement found in physical classrooms. I'd like to turn now to the issue of the requirements from the perspectives of lecturers and institutional stakeholders. Referring to figure 4, 5, and 6 on the slide, the data presents vital insights. Lecturers emphasize the need for user-friendly platforms, comprehensive professional training, and digital competence workshops to optimize online delivery. They also stress the absolute importance of establishing meaningful interactions with students online. Concurrently, institutional stakeholders, including IT departments and administrators, are required to provide a stable learning management system or LMS, reliable Wi-Fi facilities, and continuous professional development support. The important thing about this finding is that effective e-learning cannot be achieved in isolation. It fundamentally demands a synergistic collaboration between educators, students, and institutional bodies. Let me try to conclude our discussion then. The main points that have been made throughout this presentation indicate that successful e-learning is heavily contingent upon both technical readiness and human factors. While technical hurdles persist, a blended learning model emerges as the most balanced and sustainable approach for future implementation. Based on these insights, the study offers four strategic suggestions. First, enhance the internet infrastructure and LMS stability. Second, provide systemic platform training for all users. Third, design pedagogical activities that maximize critical thinking and engagement. And finally, integrate a blended learning framework as a long-term educational strategy. Before I conclude, allow me to share a brief critical reflection on this paper. Well, on a positive note, this study is highly relevant to contemporary post-pandemic challenges and provides highly actionable recommendations. However, regarding its limitations, since the research was conducted within a single institution and involved a relatively small number of lecturers, the generalizability of the findings across different contexts may be limited. But getting back to the broader question of technology in language pedagogy, this study serves as a profound reminder. Technology is merely a tool. Authentic learning is driven by motivation, meaningful interaction, and sound instructional design. This is precisely why blended learning stands as the most viable path forward. And let me finish here. This is the end of my presentation. Once again, thank you very much to our respected lecturer for this opportunity, and thank you to the audience for your kind attention. If you have any academic insights, questions, or constructive feedback, please feel free to share them in the comment section below. Thank you and have a nice day.